when you transferred your Shopify store, like you ran into some quite major hurdles with, I guess, the gun laws in Australia and how different they are to the States. Can you provide our listeners with a bit of an idea in how difficult that was and some of the hurdles you started to come up against?
Yes. So what happened was I've got my Facebook account completely banned. In fact, a couple of mine and one of my employees as well, his got banned because after mine was gone, we tried his, and then same thing happened. So we connected our Shopify. Shopify store had all these illegal products, like the knives, illegal over there, by the way, but illegal
In Australia.
to Facebook, I suppose. So we connected the Shopify store to Facebook, and everything was imported over to Facebook. So all these products were imported over to Facebook. And then in an instant, basically Facebook just banned the account, shut it down due to advertising these illegal products, or restricted product is probably a better word. And then we didn't know it was going to pull it over. So we tried again with my employee's account. And it automatically pulled it over again. We didn't know, it was just an error. It wasn't meant to happen. We didn't want to even advertise these products through Facebook, but just because they were listed on the store, it just pulled all that information across. So basically, I've got multiple Facebook accounts. I don't even know my login details. I've got to ask somebody for that, just because I've got so many accounts that we've used to try to bypass this issue. And then now that's over. Now my phone number's banned, my email, my computer itself, I can't create a new Facebook account, a Facebook advertising account through my computer, because they just know it's me, and it just gets banned instantly every time. So that was a massive hurdle right there, dealing with the Facebook compliance issues.
It's something not many, for those listeners who are living here in Australia, it's something that likely never heard of anything like this. So, for someone like yourself, how did you overcome those issues?
Essentially, what helped us out get back on Facebook is an ad agency. So we run our ads through an agency account, and essentially everything's smooth sailing now. But it does cost us an additional 4% on our ad spend to be able to use agency accounts to run our ads. And obviously we've removed all the knives and all those sort of products off our store, so it's completely compliant with Facebook. But that's the only way we've been able to run these accounts.
And so you said you're doing a lot of SEO, but also email marketing as well. So
yep,
mailing lists and so forth. Is that what you're utilizing at the moment?
At the moment, so in America, we are using Facebook ads now through the agency account.
Yep.
And basically that collects emails and that sort of thing that we then promote to. But our biggest success, I suppose, was a couple of years ago running YouTube ads. So we were running YouTube ads really quite successfully. We were spending about $20,000 a day on ads, which is about 30K with the current conversion. And we're bringing in about 110,000 a day in revenue. So we're going crazy with these YouTube ads and doing really well. And I wanted to scale up even more. I wanted to get some really, really huge numbers. So I purchased from the supplier $1 million worth of backpacks and another $1 million worth of knives, US dollars. So it's about 2.8 Australian total. Because I just really wanted to scale this up to really big numbers. And then just before the products were in America ready to sell, Apple did an update, which is the iOS 14 update. And that required users of Facebook and YouTube and all these sort of things to share their data back to Google and Facebook. And a lot of people didn't share that data, which means our tracking just dropped and our ads basically died overnight. And that it sort of left me with almost $3 million worth of stock that was just sitting there, and I had literally no avenue to sell them because at that point we didn't have these Facebook accounts we could run ads through. So I had all this stock there, and it was costing me between 12 and 13,000 US dollars a month to even store the stuff there. So month after month, I'd have to make 13,000 US dollars in profit just to run even, and then that just went straight over to the shipping company, the 3PL that we used in Denver. So that was a really hard time for a couple of years actually, and we're just slowly getting a grasp on that now. We've still got some stock there, but we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, basically, which is very, very, very awesome.
And I guess not only, during that phase, COVID, March 2020, kind of around that period, the world was a different place too. So I can imagine it would have been a real challenging time for you boys there.
Yeah, I did pretty decent during that time period. I got into selling masks to America like pretty early on.
You copped a bit of slack for that. Hey, you got a bit.
What was that?
You copped a bit of slack for that as well.
I did, yeah. I did get some nasty messages from people saying I was profiting from a pandemic and all this sort of thing. So I was really happy to see a couple of months later that you could buy them at Dick Smith and Bunnings, and all these other online retailers were selling these masks. And I was just like, it actually took a load off my shoulders that competition started selling these masks. So yeah, that was a really interesting time. I was really flat out. I was really quite stressed, actually. I was working non-stop. I was probably getting about 4 hours sleep a night for about a month, just because the sales were just extremely hectic. So at the time we had 4 customer support agents in the Philippines, and we had to scale up to 17 people in about a week or 2 weeks time. So it was like, it was hectic with the customer support as well. Trying to, people saying, hey, what's my tracking number and all these sorts of things. It was just, really full on.